New Jersey Turnpike stands the Continental Airlines Arena, and the intensity increases for each game. And the fans filing in. This has been a hot ticket indeed, and the fans hoping the Nets can even this series tonight against the Detroit Pistons. Yes, the 2004 playoffs continue in the Eastern Conference as the Pistons, big winners in the first two games at home, take on the New Jersey Nets, who got back in the series in a big way on Sunday night. And across the Hudson River, New York City. But the center of basketball tonight is in New Jersey, and the survivor there will go on to the NBA Finals. And here's a look at our McDonald's starting lineup tonight for the Pistons. Steve Kerr chronicled the hopes that the Pistons get more production out of Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton. And the same could be said for Tayshaun Prince, the small forward, who has come up empty. And Ben Wallace has been Mr. Offense as well as Mr. Defense, and Rasheed Wallace getting into foul trouble, and that is a story in itself. Jason Kidd, who has not shot well, but he finds the right people. Kerry Kittles in the backcourt with him, Kenyon Martin, Jason Collins, and of course Richard Jefferson, who came up big and accepted the responsibility with that 30-point effort in game number 3. And the two head coaches, both with the same first name, but they use one the formal name and one is the nickname. There is Lawrence Frank, who is the coach of the New Jersey Nets, 25-15 since he became the head coach, taking over for Byron Scott. And on the other side, the well-saluted Larry Brown. And right now, let's send it over to G. Lynam.
Matchup to watch early on in this one, Rasheed Wallace versus Kenyon Martin. Rasheed in game 3 picked up 2 personal fouls in the first 2 minutes, forcing him to the bench for much of that first half. Kenyon Martin found himself in a similar situation. He was called for 3 first half fouls. These are 2 guys who have built reputations of being fiercely competitive, which sometimes draws extra attention from the officials, but they've been told by the respective coaches tonight will be called equally tight. You must make the adjustments so that they can be on the floor to help their respective teams.
And of course, that's become a big story here, Steve. The situation, Martin and Rasheed Wallace, both of whom got into foul trouble.
D is exactly right. You know, this game will be called very tightly early on. These officials know that game 3 became very hotly contested to the point where there were almost a few altercations. So both teams have to be very careful about aggressive play early, because these officials will set the tone.
And the volume will be turned up a notch even more tonight. The officials, Steve Javie, Bob Delaney, and Scott Foster. In fact, Larry Brown, the defense of Rasheed Wallace, said, I believe the officials don't treat him fairly. So it remains to be seen what transpires as Kenyon Martin gets the crowd into the act. Last year, the Nets swept the Pistons in 4 straight, but of course, the Pistons had Michael Curry and Clifford Robinson in the starting lineup, and Chauncey Billups had a bum ankle. So it all will unfold here. Game number 4, Pistons won by 22 and by 15 in the first 2 games of the Palace, and the Nets won handily 82-64 Sunday.
And Dick, the first quarter of game 3, the energy in this building was absolutely stunning. I had never heard it so loud, and the Nets just jumped all over that energy and that noise and had a huge first quarter. So I think very important for Detroit here to weather the storm early.
And they played the game they wanted to play, which is the fast break style, as the tip controlled by Detroit.
Prince can't convert.
0 for 11 in his last 3 games is Tayshaun Prince. And there's Rasheed Wallace trying to get the ball on a turnover, covered by Kidd with 6 on the shot clock. The pick and roll to Kenyon Martin in the next lead.
A lot of people have been talking about Jason Kidd's struggles in this series. 9 for 40 through 3 games. But, you know, so only he and Richard Jefferson were very effective offensively.
And here's Rasheed Wallace with the step back off the glass, and the rebound by Kerry Kittles. So the Pistons start out 1 for 5. And Kidd stepping back over Ben Wallace making the shot. So here is Jason Kidd. A lot of people wondering about his bruised left knee. Missed 15 games. Many toward the end of the season. He says it is not bothering him.
Important for him to get off to an early start here with his shooting. That's a big one for Jason Kidd.
Phillips, and there's the fast break. Kittles from Kidd. So when you miss shots or turn the ball over, the Nets are going to run, as they did there.
And that's why
in this series.
No, this is what they do. You know, they run and they get up and down the floor because of this guy, Jason Kidd. And if he's knocking down his perimeter shots like this, they're that much tougher.
So Jason Kidd, 33% in
Prince and the other Detroit players, and rely on them to knock down some open shots.
Kittle's getting it down low to Kenyon Martin. Martin against Ben Wallace, one of the premier defenders in the league. And Martin pushes it up and scores. Kenyon Martin with 13 points, had 5 fouls, and played well despite foul trouble. So the Nets, unlike the Pistons, off to a good start, 4 of 5 from the field.
Wait, that reminded me a little bit of Bernard King. Remember the old shot, a little skirt shot that
He's
he
here
would
in the
take?
building.
That's right.
As his brother is. And on the fast break, off the tip, this shot, and another basket that time. And Richard Jefferson gets the field goal and a timeout called by Detroit. Well, this, for the Pistons at least, has an eerie feeling going back to game number 1.
Very similar, and Kenyon Martin flicking that little squirted jump shot into the hoop, and then it's Richard Jefferson with a patented fast break finish.
And good defensive coverage by Detroit underneath. They had 4 blue shirts going behind, and a steal. Bad pass by Hamilton. Kidd kicked it off, and Jefferson pays it off at the other end with a slam. Hey, if you were turning it over, the Nets will make you pay every time.
Larry Brown is furious.
So Phillips picking up his second personal foul.
Now Richard Jefferson going right at Wallace, who again wisely lets him go. The other night in game 3, Wallace picked up a cheap one in a similar situation, ended up on the bench for the rest of the half practically. So smart play, let him go, but if you're Larry Brown.
And we haven't seen Lindsey Hunter yet, although now he starts to walk toward the scorer's table. He can really pressure in the backcourt.
As good as anybody in the NBA, I think, at just pressuring the ball and causing havoc on the offense.
Lucius Harris hitting his first shot of the game. So Lucius Harris, who scored 1 point under a half a minute remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton along with Steve Kerr and D. Lynam. Nets and Pistons, game number 4, and nearly picked off by Ham. Kittles from the corner. Jefferson with the foul. Jefferson now with 9.
He's got the complete package.
And that'll do it in the first quarter. Well, it's not as bad as 31-13 for Detroit in any case, but Detroit still trails.
Well, no box out there on Richard Jefferson. Good defensive possession for Detroit, but you've got to finish it off with the rebound.
So the New Jersey Nets looking to even the series at 2 games apiece, shooting 50% against the outstanding defensive Detroit Pistons. And after 1, the Nets lead the Pistons 21-18.
And what a finish.
Wow.
Unbelievable. 14-point deficit with 4 minutes to go. They come back and tie it. Couldn't quite finish it off, though.
Lucius Harris with the lay-in.
And a nice play by Aaron Williams, sealing his man, allowing...
And Kidd giving the indication that he may not be making the trip to Athens. And Larry Brown with that distinguished career, the only person who has ever been a player and a coach on the Olympic team. And he can go on and on. Right now, he's just trying to see if he can make it 3-1 in the series. Martin has it knocked away, recovers 3 on the shot clock, and with 2 Pistons in his face, the shot clock violation. No, it hit the rim. Pistons get it back finally, and then it's knocked back to Jason Collins.
What a sequence.
A true safety man. Harris hitting the jumper. So Jason Collins was playing free safety and wound up with the ball, and the Nets with Lucius Harris wind up with the basket, and it's a 4-point net lead.
Another careless move with the ball by Detroit there, and Lucius Harris will end up with a layup.
Ryan Scalabrine anticipating that pass, and right now the word careless, which should be underscored when talking about the Detroit Pistons.
You see it.
And another turnover nearly made by And the Pistons need a break. They are harassed by this net team on the double team. Here's Martin, and this crowd is going wild. What a show by the Nets defense.
Pass by Lucius Harris, taking the ball out of midair. What a touch pass, and now a charge on the Pistons.
When will it end for Detroit? And another penalty, technical foul on Richard Hamilton. An offensive foul called against Hamilton, and he loses his temper and gets a tee on top of that.
How about the Pistons losing their cool here? Turnovers galore, leading to fast break baskets, and then the technical on Richard Hamilton.
So the turnovers leading to easy baskets, losing their cool, and this is the result.
Well, here's the first one. Careless ball handling by Hamilton that leads to the jump shot by Lucius Harris.
And the Nets, as a result, and you see another time on the double team, Harris to Martin. Their starters are in there with the exception of Rasheed Wallace. Phillips against Harris. Harris doing a great defensive job getting the rebound after shutting down Phillips.
I just look over at Larry Brown. He said, pass the ball, Chauncey.
Jason Kidd with the lay-in. Kidd with his second field goal of the game. Has played 12 minutes, and tell you, you go in the lane, the Nets collapse around you. They have 3 defenders around Hamilton, but here's the other end.
Well, Jason Kidd in the open floor, as good as any point guard in the league at getting to the rim and then finishing.
Kidd to a cutting Lucius Harris, passes up the shot.
Because he felt Ben Wallace's presence right above him.
Kidd driving the baseline. And Collins going up. Blocked by Ben Wallace. Another opportunity, and Martin converts. Kenyon Martin, and the Pistons pounding the offensive glass, leading again. It's a single-digit lead for the Nets.
And Rasheed looks like he's a little shaken up. May have turned his ankle on that play.
And the feed to Martin. Good pass to Collins. Gets it in. Great ball movement inside by New Jersey. In the first quarter, only 4 points and hobbling. Pistons trailing the Nets by 9.
I think his addition really vaulted this Piston team into being one of the top defensive clubs in the league.
Pistons playing a zone defense at this point, and going in as Jefferson finding Martin. Great movement without the ball by the Nets. They've been doing it all night, and Kenyon Martin on that time in particular. Pistons climbed to within 8 points, even though they were down by a huge margin. Here's Prince with the turnaround. Fight for the loose ball, and the Nets continuing to show the passion and energy that sparked their Game 3 victory. Jefferson, no look into the corner. Kidd still struggles for 3, but he'll give the Nets another chance. Kittles has the chance and makes the most of it. Kerry Kittles with a 3-pointer. The first. The timeout was called. No, the foul was called against Jason Kidd. So Kidd committing his first personal foul, but you know what? I don't think Lawrence Frank will mind. Great hustle, again, exemplified by the Nets.
And great passing by New Jersey. Richard Jefferson finding.
And the Pistons finally get something off the fast break in this game. There's Rodney Rogers posting up against Ben Wallace. The repost to Rogers. And the fall away, and that's his shot.
That's his shot, but you know what? With Ben Wallace on your back, that's a difficult shot. And he did an excellent job of
Hamilton now with 14 to lead Detroit.
And he's the beneficiary of another great play by Ben Wallace, who gets his hand on the loose ball and actually finds a way to get it to Hamilton. I wonder if they gave him an assist for that. They ought to.
Rogers swings it in for the lay-in, and that's what the Nets want from Rodney Rogers. So they split the difference. The Pistons have cut it to 6, and then it could have been 8, and so it'll be a 47-40 New Jersey halftime lead. Very well played by the Nets.
Well, and earlier we saw Detroit go into a zone defense, and you'll see here Kerry Kittles is going to take the ball, and he's going to hit Richard Jefferson, who pops out to the corner. Now watch the weak side defense here by Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace. Both players in the zone, losing sight of Kenyon Martin, who ends up with a wide open dunk. That's why we will probably not see any zone defense from Larry Brown's team in the second half.
And Beyonce saying hello to the fans. She too an attraction in the first row. So the Nets leading the Pistons 47-40.
Yes,
as we send it to Egypt. Charles, Kenny, and Magic. Beyonce is here though in New Jersey. Make no mistake.
Aggression, and that's what Rasheed had done. But make no mistake about it. Right here, New Jersey is the best in basketball in converting turnovers into points, better than anyone else. So you cannot turn the ball over if you expect to be in the game, and that's been the problem in the early going. They turn turnovers in the back.
In the second.
Remember Larry Brown before the game said, we played like strangers in game 3. Well, here we go again. They look like they are not in concert at all. A couple of turnovers here that you see leading to fast break buckets. That one by Kenyon Martin. And then defensively, where's the help? Kid going right around Hamilton and right to the rim. Nobody there to help out. And then offensive rebounds, 9 of them in the first half for New Jersey. That was a big factor. Pistons just getting outplayed in the first half. With all that said, though, Dick, it's a 7-point game, and Detroit, I don't think, can play much worse.
No, and I think in the same token, I think, Steve, that they can't see themselves slide back to a 12 or 13-point deficit, say with 6 minutes to go in the third, because otherwise that could be a death knell for them. How many times can they climb the mountain?
Well, in this type of series where they're averaging about 70 points a game, a 12 or 14-point lead
is 25.
About 25.
Right.
I mean, you know, this is not Minnesota, Sacramento, okay?
No.
A 14-point lead in this game is probably safe with about 12 minutes to go.
We don't need that third digit.
No, that will not be showing up on the scoreboard tonight.
The old-fashioned fair play scoreboards that just had two places for numbers. That's all they need for this series.
That's right.
Kerry Kittles stepping back. Hamilton doing a good job. Jason Collins giving Kittles an opportunity, and he scores at the shot clock buzzer. So the magic continues for New Jersey. Wallace Rasheed setting a screen for Hamilton. And Rasheed Wallace's first shot. Rebound by Collins.
Once again, Kenyon Martin's aggressive defense on the post, forcing Wallace out.
Kittles with a 2. Kerry Kittles with a 2, very quietly getting the job done. And it was a tough night for him. And when Mother's Day came around, it was especially tough for Ben Wallace. And he felt the effects and reflected afterwards. Kerry Kittles with another field goal. So Kittles coming out big. And the Pistons now 15 of 16 from the line, so they're good free throw shooting, keeping them within range. Prince trying to post up against Jefferson, or the other way around, Jefferson against Prince, and here is Kittles leaving it for Kidd for 3. He's got it. Jason Kidd, and the Nets have only 2 3-pointers in this game, and why that's impressive is that the Pistons have none. They're 0 for 5 in this game, and 0 for 15 in the last 2 games. Oh, fronting Tayshaun Prince, and a great play made by Jason Kidd, getting the ball back. How about another basket? This is a 2, but Kidd hits it from the same spot. A 13-point lead. Nets open up their biggest margin. And a timeout. Jason Kidd, 10 points, 10 assists. Well, Steve, good things happen when you penetrate on offense.
No, that's right. If you can spread the floor a little bit, attack the basket as Kerry Kittles does here. Look at right there, Chauncey Billups helping. Now, the reason he's helping is because the guy who's shooting right here, Jason Kidd, is about, what, 22% on the season, but on the series, but he's finally hitting now. And, you know, I think now all of a sudden maybe the defense doesn't clog the lane. If Kidd's hitting, if Kerry Kittles is knocking it down, it's going to open up things in that lane for New Jersey. And that is what penetration does for you. It's what good shooting does for you.
Game number 4 at the Meadowlands. Wallace defended by Jefferson, and the feed inside knocked away by Kittles. 5 on the shot clock, and Wallace with a long 3 way off the mark. That's Rashid with the three-point attempt. Kidd with a turnaround, banks it in. Now you see it, now you don't. And Jason Kidd has 12.
Well, the guy you look at, you think, well, he's got to get involved is Rasheed Wallace. And remember what Larry Brown told us before the game? He said, he told Rasheed, play like you're 6'11", not 5'11".
And Jason Kidd feeling it, and you pointed out, and you would know as a shooter, you can see the confidence. Tayshaun Prince driving into the foul. Here is Mr. Kidd.
He's just finally feeling a little flow. And all of a sudden, you knock one down. The next one gets a little easier. And then the fourth one, that's automatic. So Detroit's got a lot of concerns here now.
So Ben Wallace from Virginia Union. Charles Oakley, another player from Virginia Union, one of the great rebounders in the league. Under 3.5 to play, and the third Jefferson with a screen from Kidd. Kidd setting the screen, and Jefferson, 14 points. He had 7 in the Hamilton. Can only connect on one. So nearly 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Nets lead 70 to 56. What a feed as Kidd got it to Jefferson, but cleaning up is Kenyon Martin. And the missed shot by Lucius Harris. James getting it down low to Mehmet Okur. Okur with 8 points, knocked away, 10 on the shot clock. Martin not giving an inch defensively, knocks the ball away, made the steal and lost it out of bounds. But it shows you how tenacious this New Jersey Net team is. Martin upset with himself after making the steal, gets rewarded with a standing ovation.
He scared press row to death, too. He pounded on that board over there right after this. He almost comes up with the steal, and then, oh boy, the New York media saying, okay, Kenyon, we won't write anything bad about you anymore.
Well, if he does it over here, I'll run away.
I thought you were tougher than that, Dick.
Maybe I am. Let's see him do it. Mehmet Okur and Martin all over it, knocked away. And this crowd is loving it, and you want to talk about the test of wills. Right now, the Nets are winning that test.
And Mehmet Okur getting stuck in a difficult spot. Detroit has to move the ball. It keeps ending up in his hands trying to go one-on-one against Martin. That's not his game.
Hamilton leaves it for James for 3. And another miss. Kidd going to get 2 more. And the basket. And the foul.
Just a terrible foul there by Mike James. Detroit with no defensive position there on the rotation, and then Kidd's got the layup. Let him go. Don't give him an extra free throw out of this.
Yes, it's been defense, but it's been also offense. And beating the Pistons to the ball, a block by Martin. Hamilton misses. And the foul, and right now, Rodney Rock, and that'll do it. The New Jersey Net defense holding the Pistons to 35% from the field. And a huge third quarter by the Nets, and after 3, the Nets lead the Pistons 77 to 56. Scalabrine, who had a big role in Sunday's game with his energy off the bench, starts this fourth quarter for the Nets with Rodney Rogers, Brandon Armstrong, Richard Jefferson, and Lucius Harris. And Armstrong goes in and tipped up and in by Lucius Harris. 10-11 for Harris tonight. And this crowd ready to erupt. They are enjoying themselves here at East Rutherford as the Nets looking to even the best of 7 and 2 apiece. Williamson. And of course, game 5 will be Friday at the Palace at Auburn Hills, when Detroit now has to answer 2 thorough whippings if it goes on like this from the Nets. Kidd gets the roll. And Jason Kidd now with 20, and he becomes the high scorer for New Jersey.
Well, I'll tell you one thing Larry Brown is going to have to do is find somebody else who can make a shot. To silence Rip Hamilton, his team 9 for 37 here tonight.
That says it all. But everyone seems to be getting into the act for New Jersey. As the X factor was Jason Kidd. Still 2 away from a triple-double.
Well, he has been terrific. Finally getting that jump shot going coming into this series at 9 for 40, but you knew it would happen. And what's he drink before the game? Oh, a little Gatorade. Thanks, TJ.
He said, I should be the Gatorade X Factor tonight because I had a little bottle of Gatorade. Teamwork, play of the game.
Well, the New Jersey Nets are known for their passing ability, especially Mr. Jason Kidd. Watch this backdoor feed on the cut from Richard Jefferson. Misses the dunk, but there's his teammate, Kenyon Martin, to clean it up.
And the Nets will inbound. Leading by 17 at 7 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. Jason Kidd needs 1 rebound for the triple-double, guarded by Mike James. James picking Kidd up and staying with Jefferson. Richard Jefferson in the lane gets the basket. Jefferson, who had 7 in the first quarter, now with 17 in the... All right, Ernie, thank you very much. And, of course, so many distractions that the Lakers have had to face this year, Steve. And Jefferson going in and getting the basket. What a great play. You would think the Nets were in a tie game with the effort they're putting out here. The foul inside, and Kerry Kittles with the foul. Here it is.
Look at the speed of Richard Jefferson, and then the leaping ability up and around Ben Wallace. Look at the body control. This guy has the total package. I think an all-star very shortly, maybe next year.
And even though that's what those little kids want to hear.
The engineering majors would love to hear that.
That's right. Well, you know what? They've got the right guy. You know why? Because they got a winner. How about that? Basket counts, goaltending. Give it to Tayshaun Prince.
Well, I don't think anybody in the arena cares that the basket counts, because look at this play. Kenyon Martin going up and over everybody, and forget about blocking it. I'll just grab it.
Could have been called for palming. Well, and I'll say it again because that play came up. They got into Wallace trying to get it going. And Kenyon Martin is fouled out of the game. So Martin, who only played 21 minutes in game number 3, tonight plays 38 minutes before fouling out, 16 points, 15 rebounds. And not happy about fouling out, but gets a standing ovation because his spirit and his verve really has set a tone for this Net team.
There was a sequence, Dick, in the second half where he defended Neto Cora for 3 consecutive possessions and forced him into turnovers and caused havoc. And this crowd, from that point forward, just started chanting his name. You see it right now. He's egging him on. He loves it.
Closing in on 3 minutes remaining in this game. A big 30-16 third quarter. Breaking open this game for the Nets. Kerry Kittles has 3 more. Kerry Kittles' second 3 of the game. 14 points. Brown, and you've been around a long time. You've had a 2-0 lead dissipate, and they've shellacked you. And you know what? Steve, we're going to give you a little time to think about this. We're going to go to commercial as Kidd gets congrats on the trip. Joe Dumars talking about one of the reasons why they bypassed Carmelo Anthony for Milicic was the fact that they had Tayshaun Prince, but Tayshaun Prince has not been a factor since game 1 in this series at small forward.
No, he hasn't, and obviously Anthony certainly would look good in this matchup as Rodgers knocks down the shot.
Zoran Planinic getting into the game, and the final seconds ticked off as the Nets win both games at home, wire to wire over the Detroit Pistons, and have tied the best of 7, 2-2. Thanks to our producer Kim Belton, our director Suzanne Smith, statistician Marty Aronoff. New Jersey wins big, 94-79. For Steve Kerr and D. Lineup, Dick Stockton saying so long from East Rutherford as we send you to Ernie Johnson in our studios.